As the clock strikes 7, the fights alive. Inner circles here, where voices thrive. Turn on your screens, let the magic unfold. Listening and healing as stories are told. Come one, come all, this is your time. No topics too tough, just heed the calls. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. In a circle podcast where hearts unite. Sharing our truths, bringing hope to the light. Community strong, we're never alone. Together as one, we've created a home. With laughter and love, we break down the walls. No topics too tough, just heed the calls. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. So join the
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Inner Circle Podcast. Today is Tuesday, July 29. Man, where did the summer go? You know, where did the summer go? So it's like Tuesday, July 29, our regular segment. So tonight we are discussing back to school, back to reality. Because by the time August hit, right, I went to the store. I don't know. There's a local grocery store by me. I see back to school sale. I said, really? I get this. I get this. All we should be talking about. You know, America, there's season to everything, right? So back to school, back to reality. You know, I don't know whether you guys have gotten your school list. You have gotten that school list. Yeah, you know, like there's set time. Is hey, the kids are going back to school. Like my daughter already have an orientation coming up. So tonight, folks, we are discussing back to school, back to reality, and I have my two co-hosts here with me, Miss B.
Good evening, everyone. Excited, but not excited. That's how I feel right now about this whole back to school, back to reality.
Okay, Peterson from the windy city of Chicago.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. And as Ms. B said, I guess I don't know if it's exciting for the parents because the kids get to go back to school, but at the same time, they are feeling like, well, where did the summer go? And stuff like that. So that's a good conversation.
Yeah. So, folks, tonight you can contribute to the conversation by calling our number 952-594-5154 or put the comment in the chat. But before we get right into things, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's a growing platform. Follow us on Facebook, wherever you get your podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, LinkedIn, Twitter. We are all over, you know, and this platform is wild to follow. So follow us, join the movement. We amplify, we empower, and we elevate voices here. So tonight we are elevating. We are all three of us are parents, you know, so we are elevating our our immigrant voices tonight. You can join the movement as well. So well, folks, Peterson, I'll start with you. In Chicago, when does the school year start? You know,
Please touch
okay,
on
okay.
that.
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
know there was some kind of uh, shooting incident.
Oh yeah. Thanks for bringing that
Yeah.
up. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. So yeah, there was a shooting incident yesterday in New York. Thanks for holding us honest there,
Mhm.
Miss B. Yeah, but there's a shooting incident yesterday in New York. Five people, including the gunman, was killed, and a police officer. And the police officer was actually like he was an immigrant. You know, what I mean, it's like I know it's like we have said a lot on this platform how immigrant are being portrayed in a negative light, you know, vilified or something, but unfortunately he was an immigrant and five people, right? So one of the lady I read about today, she was a high power executive at Blackstone, one of the leading financial institutions in this country. So that is so sad. Our prayers are with them and things like that. You know, gun violence is real in this country. Mental health is real. We have talked about mental health many times on this platform. You know, someone just get up, man, and just he came from all the way Las Vegas or whatever, drove to New York.
Reno, Nevada,
Yeah,
and he
okay,
was targeting the NFL building.
yeah. So that
Yeah,
is so sad. So
he was targeting the NFL building, and I believe the officer protects the building, provides security,
yeah.
and he put his. So yeah. just want to, send prayers and thoughts to the families and the victims. And it's unfortunate, right? These are times that we're in.
Yeah, yeah. Peterson, anything you want to say to that?
Yeah, I was in the word of that. I've been stuck indoors all day. I worked from home today, so I didn't get a chance to listen to a radio or anything. But yeah, that is a sad occurrence, and it's something that uh, I don't want to say it's the norm, but we hear of it so often especially in this country, with the availability of guns and people, deranged people. I mean, mental illness is a thing. People like just go out of their way to cause non like violence, and is it's not called for. But prayers to the families and all the those that are impacted.
Yeah, definitely. As mental illness, I think they said he was mentally ill. He was suffering from some mental stuff. And sometimes folks, especially in our community, right? We should realize that when there's things going on, we should seek help. We
Yep.
shouldn't be so proud or say, hey, that's not me, or toughen it out. It's like things happen, man. This country is as I always tell people, it's a stressful country. We are juggling so much. Like even the topic we are about to discuss tonight, like as parents, there's so much going on. You're juggling your kids, like so much. So it's like, mental health is real, folks. So if you're going through something, please seek help. So,
Yeah. And on that note, about the one, I think was it Saturday or Sunday in Michigan, the one
hmm
part where with the stabbing,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
um, he went out and just started stabbing people randomly and stuff like that, and it was just shoppers, customers
yeah,
who
yeah,
actually were able to stop him. So it's real.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely, folks.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for bringing that up, Miss B. Thanks for holding on
yeah.
this. Those are the
Yeah.
things we always try to, definitely bring up here. But okay, back to reality, back to school, back to reality. So, Peterson, when does the school year start in Chicago?
Yeah, so Chicago being, I think, is either the second or third largest
Mhm.
school system in the country, but
Wow.
usually, yeah, the Chicago school district is like it's really big. They usually start the day, like the Monday after Labor Day, so
Oh,
Hmm.
school
okay,
doesn't
okay.
open until Labor Day. But those of us who live like outside of Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we have different calendars that we follow. So, like I said, the school district in the place I live, they're gonna open on the I think the 19th or the 20th of
That's
August.
like
Mm.
that's like in 2 weeks. That's like in 2 weeks, Peterson. Have
Yeah,
you have you already started
Wow.
your do you already have your school list for your kids? Have you started your
yeah.
school
So,
shopping?
like you, I was in a local store. I think it was 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I went to grab like milk or something, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'm walking and see like the back to school things,
Mm-hmm.
and the aisle, some of it's already empty. I'm like, wait, when did they put these out? And things are gone already. So I went on my phone to the district website to see if I can pull up the list, because I have a fifth grader and a first grader now. So
Mm-hmm.
I went to the website and I got the list, and I kept flipping through the phone, go to first grade and then grab stuff, go to fifth grade and grab stuff. I kept going back and forth, and I got enough of their things, and then that's not what I went for. I just went to get something random, and I end up, and I'm like, school supplies going out a
How
day,
much?
like $145.
Whoa.
And you probably didn't even get every single
No,
thing.
I still haven't gotten backpacks and
Wow.
like the big stuff. I haven't gotten it yet. Just I'm like, wow, going out the days when you can just go to Walmart and you will see like 10-cent
99 cents.
notebooks and things like
Yeah.
Okay.
that.
Wow.
Miss B, how's your household? How are you guys preparing? I know, I mean, we are in the Midwest, so maybe the after Labor things is a Midwest thing. But how's your household preparing? And folks,
Definitely after Labor Day weekend.
mm-hmm,
And Monday is the first, and school will start September 2nd or the
mm-hmm,
4th, something like
okay,
that.
okay,
Not prepared at all. Not ready for junior year of high school. Come on now. What?
wow,
Yeah.
okay,
How did
okay,
we get here? I'm still in denial.
okay,
I'm not accepting any of this growth.
mm-hmm,
And so I have not put my mind position myself mentally, physically, financially, none of the above,
Uh-huh.
to get prepared for get her prepared for school.
Mhm.
We'll do that when we get there. Basically,
Okay.
at this
Okay.
rate, we'll do that when we get there, and I will most likely probably be Instacarting or Amazon those things that we need for back to school. I'm
Are you
not.
one
I
of
don't
those
like
parents? Are you
shop.
one of those parents that will like last minute, like procrastinate with last minute, and then because right that school list, I know it's already out there. It's already out there, right? Are you one of those parents who's waiting? Oh, you know, I'm gonna. I should say, right? You're gonna probably how you call it, Instacart or Amazon, whatever. But are you one of those who wait like last minute and then hey, and then she's telling you, Mom, I mean, here's my school list, right? What are you doing about it?
I'm gonna be. She was just talking about, because we're traveling for her birthday, and she
Mhm.
was just talking about, oh, we have to go back to school shopping. I'm like, what already? My money for me, I'm just calculating the dollars. That's all that's coming to my mind. Like, really? So, because you have to buy the clothes. That's separate, right? The
Mhm.
clothes, the tennis shoes, like Peterson was talking about. The backpack, and it's not going to just be any old backpack that you phone a Crayola backpack
Yep.
anymore, right? And
Mhm.
so brand unfortunately matters. And so I can't even begin to think about pencil, paper, and notebook. I'm just thinking of all the expensive clothes and shoes that I'm probably going to have to buy, and then get their hair done. She actually came and asked me to color the hair this evening. Can I dye my hair brown? I said, oh, Father God. So no, I'm in denial.
Okay, junior year, so you better, I mean, you better prep yourself. And then the thing about junior year, right? You're gonna start looking at colleges too. At this point, you're gonna start, getting into that vibe. But here, like, so for me, like, my daughter starts high school, okay, and then orientation is next week, right? I have orientation next week, freshman orientation. All the grades, right? And it's like August 25th, actually, a week after you, or less than a week after you, Peterson. That's when she starts high school. My little one doesn't go back until after Labor Day. But now it's like, guess what? We are already doing our preparation for. We need to like they have all this list, right? Going back there, like the orientation day, we have like all this list. Now we have to start preparing for it. And maybe like Miss B, I'm in denial. I said, okay, where did summer go? It's like next week is orientation. I'm thinking about, okay, how do I, start thinking about that tuition, this, that, and all of those like things. Instead, like, okay. So I mean, it's you don't know where the summer goes, right? And then they're not even ready yet. I can tell you
No,
my kids are not ready. Okay.
no,
Okay.
you're not
Because
mentally ready at all.
yeah, they're not ready. The only thing my two kids are asking me about is their cousin birthday, right? It's like that is scheduled for Hawaii. That's the only thing. Oh, Dad, when are we going? When are we going to Hawaii? So okay, but hey, school is about to open though, especially for my for my daughter that's about to go to high school. I'm telling her, hey, school is about to open, but the only thing she cares about before we even go live, she texted me, "Oh, when is this trip to Hawaii again?" I said, "Okay, here we go." I'm thinking about next week your orientation, and then here you are talking about trip to Hawaii, right? Is that what we should be
That's
talking about, or should we be talking about,
no,
back to school? But that's the reality. Like time goes by so fast. Where summer goes by so fast. Once June hits, July hits, the next minute is August. And I can tell you, it's not only the three of us. I think a lot of parents are not prepared. Right? Is that because sometimes it just hit them? I mean, when we brought up this topic, there someone was saying, "Oh, we should be discussing the end of August." Well, end of August, like places like in the South, where folks are already be in school, right? And that's where we should do this segment now to remind parents, hey, August 1st is what? Friday. Okay.
no.
August 1st is Friday. So I know that list is already out there, right? It's like, so you better be preparing for that list and then like be doing something. But Peterson, I know you said when you went to the store, right? It just kind of hit you. But what do you do in your hustle to prepare? To prepare yourself as a parent? How do you and your wife prepare? And how do you get the kids mentally prepared? Because that's a whole different ball game, right? Because
Yeah.
they are already used to maybe staying up late. Like these kids
Staying
like
up
stay up,
very
yeah,
late.
very,
Right?
very late. So they're
My
already used to
10-year
that. How do
old.
you get into that cadence?
Yeah. So in the next couple of days here, we have to go back to routine because since the summer began, especially for my older one, who's I guess 10 years old, you can call him older, but he stays up with his cousin that came to spend the summer. They stay up till 5 in the morning, and then they will go to sleep. and they will sleep till 1 or 2 in the afternoon. It's like complete reversal. Now I have to reprogram their brain. Like, hey, now you need to start going to sleep like normal time. So it's going to take time for their body to get used to that. So that's why I said
Mhm.
this week, uh, right since the new month is beginning by Friday, to give them at least that 2.5, 3 week window so that their bodies can be able to readjust. Because for now, I'm not ready. They are not definitely ready. So yeah, and now I have to stay up or like struggle to wake them up in the morning and make sure I get them ready and stuff like that for school. So yeah, it's gonna be challenging.
Yeah, Miss B, I know you're talking about, I mean, prices, I mean, like right now we live in a high inflationary environment. I mean, it's like once you go to the store and ask for something, man, sometimes you pick one or two things, right? The price is like, okay, did I did I just pay $200 for,
Yeah.
I mean, what's in this card, right? What's in here, right? Did I just pay $200 for it? But in this high inflationary environment, how should parents, who as a how should parents like prepare for back to school, because things are very, very expensive, and how should schools, right, kind of try to navigate the world we live in right now?
I know there's a lot of back to school programs, like
Okay. Yeah.
back to school drives,
Hmm.
community
Hmm.
organizations that are having back to school events where they're giving away backpacks with school supplies in them. We will be sponsoring one of them here coming up. I believe it's like August 16th or something like that.
Hmm.
And so we'll be sponsoring that back to school event. And we're talking about thousands and thousands of backpacks and school supplies will be provided. So show up to those things, Google those things. That's a great help. And that's why, you have hospitals like Elina,
Hmm.
Fairview that
Hmm.
support these type of community events because they understand that gap. You have teachers who buy extra supplies and have them available for the school year because they
Hmm.
know there's going to be a gap, and not just financially, but just I don't know for some reason why they don't supply the right amount of school supplies in the store. Like we run out of them. I don't think there's ever enough because no matter how early I feel it's early to me, I still, like Peterson said, when did they put these things out for the shelves to be empty already, right? You still find like there's nothing left in the aisles for you to get. And
Hmm.
so, some smart things to do is just check where you go to go buy your supplies. Pencil is pencil. I know a lot of folks have started going to the dollar store to help cut costs. You're going to find the same quality of products there.
Yeah.
And so you just got to be mindful of where you're going and where you're looking and when you're looking too, because if you put it off for too long, it will cost you more too in the end.
No, no, yeah, definitely right. I mean, that's a good advice, and I think that's one of the thing. It's like for those, even if you can afford it, sometimes to Miss B point, right? These free resources, a lot of nonprofits, especially in our community. The thing is, well, sometimes it's not out there, but hey, Google it, get that information. I know it's like these things be happening. I mean, not only here in Minnesota, but I know they be happening all over the country, right?
Oh yeah,
Even if you think about sometimes like Caucasian, even the rich ones, they find
they
I mean,
go.
they discover where it is at and take
Yes,
advantage of it, right? It's like,
yes.
so we should not be shy of taking advantage of free resources out there, because it might save $1 or $2, because I mean right now like things are really, really expensive. If you go to the store and try to buy something, it is so expensive. So to parents out there, even if you can afford it sometimes, right? There's a free backpack. Hey man, go and get one. That just saves you from getting a backpack, right? Because mind you now you have to buy clothes, especially
Yeah,
for kids in public school, you have to buy clothes. And then
yes,
and it's like for some reason the kids over the summer they just grow out of pretty much everything. They grow out of everything, so you have to go on a serious shopping spree, and things like that. But like, so Peter, when it comes to that on the shopping, I mean shopping for kids, I mean for your kids, right, for clothes, how do you navigate that? Do you like take the old clothes to Goodwill, or do you like what, or how do you not, I mean how do you do it?
Yeah. So for us, it was my wife who actually brought the idea like we should donate instead of, because we used to just, when it gets small, we pack them in a
Mhm,
plastic bag. Like,
mhm,
what do we do with them? We don't have anybody shipping from here to go to Liberia, so we just like put it in the recycle. So she's like, no, if there's nothing wrong with the clothes. We put in the laundry and we wash it clean, fold it, put in the plastic bag, and then take it to either Goodwill or to one of those donation boxes around.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
she brought the same idea about even the backpacks. Instead of just throwing the backpack away and getting a new one, we can donate what we have if we're going to buy another one.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of like clothes, especially, so I have two boys. I have a 10-year-old and a 4-year-old. Now, things that the 10-year-old had 2 years ago that are now small for him. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I'll go through and be like, "Hey, there's nothing wrong with this one." The little one came out trying to wear it. So uh, I guess in that way, it's like hand me downs. He has his own clothes, but when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to like back to school, we'll go to like Primark or other stores that are not so like expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, the kids they just grow. So right before summer, we bought some clothes for like my 10-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
and we bought like between it would say 12 to 14 on the tag, but
Mm-hmm.
then just after 1 or 2 months, he's wearing them like, why are you wearing like that is so tight? Why is it so small? He's like, well, you bought it. I'm like, is this something new or old? And when I check the tag, it's something that we just bought. So he's outgrowing it already. So we have to go back and then get something like bigger. But yeah, and it doesn't hurt. Like you said, thrifting people sometimes, I think in our community, they look down on like, oh, you go to a thrift store or you go to like secondhand store. I'll tell you, people in my neighborhood and like the other day when we were talking to, I think the police chief from Brooklyn Center,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see the population of or the demographics of the place I live is
Uh-huh.
0.06, not even like point 0.6, not even 1%,
Okay.
0.6% where I live. But you
Okay.
go to Goodwill and you'll see like my neighbors and other people they're shopping for their kids, and
Yeah.
the idea is they're going to use it for like a month and they're going to outgrow it, especially
Mm-hmm.
if
Mm-hmm.
the child is not even a teenager yet and they haven't matured. They just outgrow these things. So instead of spending $100 and buying like a pair of jeans or a pair of pants, they just go to Google and get something that is still like almost brand new. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
like me, if I go through my son's like closet, the things that I bought right before the summer, some of them he haven't worn yet, but they're small. I'm just going to take in and carry to the Google. It still has a tag on it, and that's what other people do as well. So sometimes people like they sleep on like thrifting and stuff like, oh, I don't want to go to Google. I don't want to go to a thrift store and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, no, that's a great point. That's a great point. But folks, tonight we are discussing back to school, back to reality. Today is what? July 29. August 1st is going to be Friday, right? A lot of places in the South, right? School is going to be opening in 2 weeks. Other places in 3 weeks, like Chicago, pediatricians are on the 19th, August 19th. So it is appropriate that we bring this topic back to school, back to reality, because I know, folks, we are still in what? We are still in a summer vibe, like Miss B, she's still recovering from the DeVito madness, the entertainment and then the whole that brain weekend. So like folks are not even in that school mood yet, right? But we brought this topic tonight to what? To remind folks that hey, August is right around the corner. And as I said, like right now, if you go to Target or Walmart, back to school session is already is already in place, right? They're already reminding you, they're already reminding you that hey, it's back to school, get your shopping done, get things done. So you can contribute to the conversation tonight by putting a comment in the chat or call them with number 952-594-5154. Or Miss B to Peterson point, though, right? Why is a lot of immigrant parents, are we immigrants? I know back in the day when I first came here, they play. I don't know who know. If you're in Minnesota, if you're local to Minnesota, especially in northwest suburb, there's a place called Unique. Back in
Everybody
them
knows
days,
unique.
back in them days, Peter say, what I mean? It's
Everybody
like,
knows unique.
I mean, I'm talking about, I mean, for me, it's like, I'm going to age myself here, now, like, in the 90s or stuff, right? It's like, you come here, it's like, hey, you got to go to Unique, man. You got to go to Unique, right? It's like, I mean, like $2 stuff or $1, like, polo shirt. It was quality though, right? It's like, it's like, man, you had a lot of good stuff over there. But these days, right, especially with the newcomers or like with the new generation, we shy away from these things. Why? I mean, why is that, Miss B? Why?
It's changing. It's actually changing. Gen
Mm,
Zers are thrifters. Statistically, they are the ones who are thrifters. They're making it cool to thrift shop because they want to go and look for old vintage like comic things and like
mhm,
what is it, Snoopy and Charlie Brown.
mhm,
They're bringing back those things, right?
mhm,
They'll
mhm,
shop at stores like if you think about out what is it, Urban Outfitters or El Paso. They're
mhm,
actually bringing it's new clothes, but it's actually looking like old thrift store clothes, right?
mhm, mhm,
That's what retail is doing to try and stay
mhm,
in the trend. They're
mhm,
bringing thrift store looking clothes in the new retail, and so Unique is still making money. Unique has been there forever and is even making more and more money now. Actually, between Unique, Goodwill, consignment stores, you go to Edina, one of the most wealthiest cities in the state of Minnesota. They
mhm,
have a lot of consignment stores. You have Opix, and what's gonna happen is when retailers like Nordstrom or Neiman Marcus. Well, we don't have Neiman Marcus anymore, but Macy's can't
mhm,
sell all of their product. They're
mhm,
going to give it to the Goodwill. They will give it to Opix. They will give it to these consignment stores, and so that's
mhm.
why wealthy people say wealthy. Wealthy people don't spend their money. That's the reality, right? We the poor people. We are the largest consumers. The low income and middle class. We spend a
Mhm,
lot of our money. Wealthy people don't
mhm,
spend their money.
mhm,
I
mhm.
have some old items because let me tell you, on Wednesday is Senior Citizen Day. If you take your auntie or your grandma, you get everything for $1.
Okay, here you go, folks. If you have an old folks in your home, if you have your aunt or your
Yeah,
mom or your
yeah.
dad, that's whole. Hey man, take them and and maybe look for that senior citizen day and do that right while you're doing your
Do
back to
that.
school shopping, for those kids. But go ahead, Miss B.
Yeah, go to the Salvation Army on Thursdays. Is Veteran Day. Get your take your veteran person. Yes, I use my brother's veteran discount, and you're getting some of these things. Not some, a lot of these things I'll find Target in the box from Target. Seriously, right?
Hmm.
Household supplies are there with the tags from Home Goods. Are still on mirrors and stuff like that, furniture,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
so it's already cheap. But then I'm being even more cheap when I use my brother's veteran discount on Thursday, the Salvation Army in Minneapolis. I'm giving y'all a plug. Go and
Yeah.
hit it up, man. You will find a lot of the stuff you buy at Costco and Walmart is sitting there too as well.
Hmm.
And so good deals. You got to save money around here. It's not an investment to invest in clothes and shoes. There's no
Yeah.
investment in that. You're not going to get a return on that money. It's not something. Buy jewelry. If you're gonna spend money, buy jewelry, right? Because you can go to
Hmm.
the jewelry store, you can go and pawn it if things get hard. I don't want you to have to do that, but yeah,
Okay.
don't be investing in clothes. It's seriously, it's not a good investment.
Yeah, and first of all, folks, you contribute to the conversation. Anyone can contribute to this conversation tonight. So if you're a student listening to us, if you want to contribute, you can call our number 952-594-5154. So I think we might have a caller. Just
We have a caller on trying to call in right now.
they might call back, but folks, yeah,
Oh,
anyone can contribute to the conversation tonight. If you are a student, you can definitely call. You can call back. I was just about to answer the phone and maybe it went to voicemail. So you can call back. You can call our numbers back 952-594-5154 to contribute to the conversation tonight. Anyone, you're a student, if you're not ready for back to school, if you have a shopping list that you want your parents to buy certain things for you, just hit us up, okay? Okay, so again, the number is 952-594-5154. So we apologize if it went to voicemail. We're in the middle of a conversation and then couldn't get to the phone on time, but call us back. But so Miss B though, right, that's a great point. Like you raised, right? It's like, I mean, you gotta take advantage of those discounts. These discounts, and the other thing, right? We live in an environment, a lot of even non-profit organizations. To your point earlier, right? They have a lot of these. I mean, I'm hearing that, oh, we have this, the organization announcing school drive, right? The other people announcing school drives and stuff like that. So it's also good to take advantage of these things. And the thing about people is that I don't want free things. Why not? Why not? Okay, you might be saving money. Okay, you might be saving money, but how do we change our mentality though, right? Even if so, because the case right now, I mean, we have, I mean, we call them Gen Z, right? With TikTok, with things that trending. Sometimes they want their own thing, but how we as parents, Peterson, how are we supposed to, have this conversation with them? Hey, it's not bad. Maybe getting some free things, or maybe going to the thrift store and getting these things.
Yeah, so I think it's just we have to kind of encourage them, and also if they see the parents every day, you go into Lane Bryant and all these like expensive stores and things, and like Miss B said earlier, things like clothes, it's not an investment. So if your child only wants to wear Jordan, those like what's the point of owning five, six, seven, eight pairs of Jordans, and then the person, they don't have their own job, they're not paying for their their own Jordans. You can tell your child, yeah, that's why I'm investing in your school, so you can go to school. If you want to wear Jordan tomorrow, you can buy as many Jordans as you want once you're educated and you can make your own money. But I think it's a trend that a lot of parents, they take like, okay, well, I have to buy them the brand names and things like
Hmm.
that. But
Hmm.
a lot of the kids, sometimes it's peer pressure too. If they are hanging around with like children, like, oh, okay, well, my friend has this, my friend has this. Well, your friends, their parents, they know what they're getting themselves into buying all those things. But you have to make it clear to them, like, just because it's free or it's discounted, it doesn't mean that it's of low quality. That's the mistake
Mhm.
that we sometimes make when we think of, like Ms. B said earlier, pencil is pencil. If you get it from Dollar Tree or you get it from Walmart or Target or Meyer, it's still the same lead in that pencil.
Mm.
So sometimes we we think like, oh, okay, Dollar Tree, that means is low quality when it comes to certain things. So we just have to teach the kids and show them that just because a church has a drive, it doesn't mean that it was free to make. They
Mm-mm.
still, somebody brought it as donation and they paid for it, so it's still the same quality.
Peterson, no,
Yeah.
I mean the thing you say, right, is actually real. I mean, I can't imagine kids right now, these Gen Z kids with social media, with so many trending viral stuff. But back in the day when I was in high school, there was no social media, right? But guess what? There
No,
was still a lot of peer pressure to the point you just brought
yes,
up. You go to school, especially public schools, right? The thing about nothing against public schools, right? Hey, it's like God bless them or whatever. But the thing about it, you see dudes, right, or maybe
mhm,
girls, right? I mean, is that wearing Jordans, man, wearing like back in the day, right? Like Sean John, Fat Farm, is that Rockaway? You wonder,
yep,
whoa, you know? Okay, okay, so there's real pressure. There's real pressure there, folks.
it
There's real
is.
pressure there. So it's like I can't imagine that what kids are going through. I can't, especially Miss B. You have a high schooler. How is she? Is like I mean she's going. I mean she about to start her junior year. How is she? How is she navigating the current Gen Z
I
Facebook
think
craze, social
I
media
think
world?
we're doing pretty good because this is what she
Mhm.
told me. She said, "Oh, mommy, the black dress I wore, I can wear that again for homecoming." I said, "Oh, praise
Oh,
God,
okay.
yeah." So she's being economic already. She said, "Oh, nobody." She's like, "Something's like I didn't post it or something like that, so I can wear it again for homecoming."
Because somebody saw it. So
So I can wear it again for homecoming. And so I'm never ever afraid to tell Seisha I'm broke. I think we need to be comfortable with that. I'm never afraid to say I can't afford it. I think these are the words that kids need to be okay. It needs to be okay for them to hear, Or I would tell her not, and then when she got older, she's like, "Okay, mommy, I guess I know when your payday is," because I'll be like, "Oh, not this Friday, next week Friday." She's like, "I realize now when you get paid." And so, yeah, and then I'm like, okay, we didn't budget for this, so we can't do it. If we didn't budget for it, so we can't do it. So I think it's those kind of conversations that we have to have. I am okay having those conversations. And I tell Sisha all the time, our money is not your money. So we need to be, I know people may have problems with the Cosby Show, but I'm a huge fan of the Cosby Show. There are some great parenting tips in there, and so I remember oftentimes that's what Huxtable, the character, would tell the kids, like, "Mom and Dad are rich, we got money. Y'all are poor, y'all are broke." And so I've kind of included that mentality here in my household with Stacia. So she knows to be mindful. She does love the Jordans. She does.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's you mix the Jordan with Target wear clothes.
Okay.
And so, yeah, you mix a little bit of expensive with a little bit of cheap, especially
Okay.
if you know they're done growing and those shoes will last long.
But before you
You will
finish your
find.
Thomas, we have our caller. I think.
Oh, go ahead, caller.
Yeah. So uh, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Arizona.
Okay. What's your name?
My name's Adam.
Okay, Adam. Okay, what's your contribution to the show tonight? Welcome to the show. Talking about back to school and back to reality. What's your contribution?
I liked what's her name, Miss B, said
Mm-hmm.
about homecoming. That's what one of my friends said.
Mm-hmm.
They Snapchatted. This is funny. They Snapchatted everyone like, "This is what I'm wearing," and then literally threw the jacket out because
Okay. 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 So it's like it's like everyone is sharing stuff on Snapchat or
Yeah.
TikTok. But are you? I mean, in Arizona, when the school starts?
our school starts on August 4th.
Oh, whoa! I mean, it's next week.
Yeah,
Next
that's
week.
okay.
Are you ready?
I'm not.
Okay. Are your parents ready?
Probably
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Probably not.
suggestions that everyone thinks I'm in 4th grade. I'm like, no.
Okay. 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 What grade are you in?
I'm going into 8th.
Okay. Okay. That's good. That's good.
Congratulations.
Well, you're very smart. You're a very smart individual, right? Keep it up. I hope you have a good school year. I hope you have gotten all your parents have gotten all your school shopping done. Good luck in 8th grade. Okay. Thanks so much for calling. Thanks for your contribution.
Thanks for calling in, Adam.
Thank
Keep
you.
Okay. Thank
watching.
you. Yeah. Bye bye. Bye. So this being man is like the Snapchat thing you're talking about. Well, he said like he's like Sasha did not post it.
Yeah.
It's like this posting thing. It even gets like big folks interrupt. That I mean, for me, I'm just going to all transparency. I'm not a social media person because these are the things I don't like pressure. It's like okay, I wear something so I can wear it because on social media. Nah. What are the two? I mean, what's the reaction from the two of you? Anyway, Miss B, I'll start with you.
Thank you, Adam, for calling in. And yes, I stay in tune because I have a young person in the house who is very much involved in social media, but they're not all over. They are very committed to TikTok and Snapchat. They think Facebook is for old people.
Yep.
They think Facebook is for old people straight up. And then, Instagram for them, they have to be a very polished influencer to be focused on Instagram. So TikTok is like anything goes. And, Snapchat is just for them doing exactly what Adam mentioned, right? Sharing their outfits that they're going to wear to homecoming, right? And so they're very, very big on social media.
Peterson, you have a 10-year-old. What's your experience? And what is that? You have a 10-year-old. You know what I mean? He's probably
Fortunately for me, my 10-year-old is a 10-year-old boy. So he's not so much into like, what am I gonna wear? I need to wear this or wear that. He will wear whatever we give him, but sometimes he'll be like, well, my friend has like this cool Nike shoes and it has this color and this. Can I get something like that? And if it's like one item he's requesting, I will like give in and do it. But if he comes to me and be like, I want like this many pairs of Jordans or I want this and stuff like that. So there are boundaries that we say, like, okay, there are certain things that I will indulge and you are allowed to have. And like Adam said, thanks for the call once again, Adam. Uh, but these kids, they will share things, and I think sometimes it's because the either they don't want somebody else wearing what they have, so this is
Mhm.
why they will share it so that
Mhm.
it be unique. Because all of them, most of them, they shop like to the same place. So like my wife, years ago, when I guess I don't know if it's, I think it's Just Fab, or some website they used to
Mhm.
get shoes from. She used to hate when she wears shoes to go to a party and see somebody else wearing the same shoes. She would not get on the floor because she's somebody else with the same shoes. So I think that sometimes the kids, they don't want, like, they want to be unique. So everybody want to be a unique individual. So sometimes they share, like, okay, well, now you know my color, you know what I'm wearing. I mean, you can get the same style of dress or the same style of outfit, but just not the same color. Or if they're best friends, sometimes they want to be, I guess, what they call it, twinning, or to,
Yes,
yeah,
twinning. That's the word,
yes.
twinning.
Oh man. Okay. You can see parents in the house to that, but here's the thing. But here's the thing, though. Right? What added pressure is this? Is this whole thing adding? Right? Is that what are some of the, because I think it's a, I mean, when it comes to mental health, when it comes to financial pressure, when it comes to so many other things, is that just it's a whole another dynamic where how, I mean, what kind of pressure is that putting on parents, especially sometimes parents who have a hard time to, Miss B say, oh yeah, you can test it, I mean, your daughter no or something like that. But some parents just have a hard time, right? It's like, hey, if my child wants something, I'm gonna make sure I get him that. You know, what other pressure is that putting on households, on parents?
I
Miss B.
think going to private school has its own pressures too.
Okay. Don't no throwing shit here, right?
I mean, affluent, affluent suburban private school kids, man,
Uh,
and their designers of choices. You're talking like Lululemon, and it can be very much a lot of pressure, right?
mhm,
Just because we all go to the private school, there are levels to the different income that people have, right?
mhm,
And
mhm,
we don't know that because we're all wearing the uniform, of course, but there will be certain items, maybe it's the purse so and so brought to school, or maybe when you have like that regular clothes day and you see what people are wearing, then you would know, you kind of tell like, okay, or maybe it could be a watch, bracelet, it's certain things that somebody will wear to identify the fact that they have more money than other students, right? And some students can be there on scholarships, right? Athletic scholarships. I know, folks in my family that are attending private school on athletic scholarships, right? So they don't have
mhm,
the same income
mhm.
as other kids in the school. And so that pressure is there. You got to show up every now and then with at least that one pair of Jordans. You come home, you put it back in
So
the box.
Jordans are not allowed. Jordans,
That's great. That's great. But I've always been
Jordans are
a
not
big
allowed,
fan of
right? It's like,
I've always been a big fan of uniforms, whether you're in private school or public school. And some public schools do have uniform, especially charter schools. They have
mm,
uniforms. And the
mm,
reason why I like the uniform thing because it doesn't take away the distraction of why you went there in the first place, and that's to learn. School is not a fashion show. And I used to tell the teacher straight up, Seisha is not here to make friends. First of all, she comes from a Liberian family. She has all the social attributions that she need already built into her coming from a Liberian family. That will not be her problem. So I'm not focusing on her making friends here in school. And so, that pressure is there, and it just has to come back to what do you want to instill in your kids, right? And that shouldn't,
okay.
I mean, even as adults, we're not all wearing Prada and Fendi around here. That's the reality.
And so when we post, I mean, well, those that posting for, when they post one thing, don't worry again, but they're gonna say, oh wait, why is she wearing that? Okay, and the
And
kids have
here's the
come,
thing, people
and the
make up
kids
their
have
own
copied it.
assumptions. Yeah,
Yeah,
people make up their own assumptions. Like half
yeah,
the time,
yeah.
people think my stuff is more expensive than it actually is.
Okay,
I'm a
okay,
bargain
okay,
shopper.
okay. Well, folks, to know we are discussing back to school, back to reality, as Adam just informed us. I mean, even next week, right? School opens some places. Probably that's a West Coast thing. I mean, that might be a West Coast thing, right? It's like on the 4th, August 4th, school starts, right? So that might be a West Coast thing. In Phoenix, Arizona, school starts August 4th. So tonight we are discussing back to school, back to reality. You can contribute to the conversation by calling our number 952-594-5154 or putting a comment in the chat. But let's switch a little bit to the academics, right? Yeah, we have talked about all of the fun stuff, the school list, school supply list, the clothing, the Jordans, and all those good stuff. But let's talk about academics. Peterson, how do you prepare your kid to say, okay, this academic year that's coming, these are the expectations I have for you. How do you prepare them academically? Because they have been up all summer. I think you and I had a segment here where it says like the whole summer, right? I wanted before we get into the summer, I wanted to get them into certain programs to keep them academically active. But I feel as a parent this summer I could not do that, right? Now, like, how do you prepare them academically? Because it's a whole shift now you have to do.
hmm Yeah, so like you, when it comes to the academic side of things, I dropped the ball this year too, uh, especially for the older ones, because they have to understand that the higher they progress or
Yeah.
the harder things become, it's going to
Mm-hmm,
be,
mm-hmm.
the lessons are going to be harder, they're going to be more challenging. So
Yeah.
uh, in years past, it was just my older son. Now my daughter, she's going to start first grade. So
Mm-hmm.
what I did with him last year between third and fourth grade, when school's about to open, is to take like 2 weeks and review what they learned in fourth grade. I'm not doing like the fifth grade or the third grade stuff, because they're gonna do that same revision like the first 2 weeks of school. They're gonna
Mm-hmm.
go over like, okay, what have you learned? What did you learn last year, so that they can be able to like place them, so the teacher can kind of gauge like, okay, well, this person's actually prepared for this grade,
Yeah.
or they need a little bit more time
Mm-hmm.
of work from the previous level. So I usually just, since they have their summer package, they usually send them home with a summer package that they have to learn, which is like a transition period thing. So I'll usually go over with him if it's science and math and reading, especially those three subjects. But that's how I get him prepared, but now I have to do that with my daughter. But like each kid is completely different. My
Yeah.
daughter, she's been home all summer, but she's so eager to just about school. Every day she's like, "Am I going to school yet? Is school open yet?"
Well,
Wait till
yeah.
from nine. To be like,
Okay.
I don't want to get up from bed because, I mean, your brother started out the same way. So I have to just get, like I said, to refresh their
Mm-hmm.
memory and get them ready for learning again, not just the relax and enjoyment of the summertime.
Miss B, how do you get your daughter academically ready for the school year, right? It's like, back to school, obviously. How do you get academically ready? How do you do that transition from somewhere where in like, it's relaxing, all the fun. Now school work time is coming, and she's a high schooler, so it's so. I mean, to Peter's point, it's so different. That's where accountability start coming in, right? How do you get her prepared?
I've been blessed when it comes to Stacia.
Okay,
She
okay,
she gets it from her dad. They're early risers. He's up at 5 a.m. She's up at 6 a.m. Stacia respects her bedtime all year
okay,
round.
okay.
Bedtime is 9:30, 10. She tries to be hard and stay up late, but it doesn't work. When I go, she's like, ah. So and I believe in rigor. So she's been busy all summer. The only thing is she hasn't been busy with academics. She's been busy with camps. So she's in
Okay,
Girl Scouts. She's a leader. So she goes every year for the when she gets out of school, the following week, right out of school, she has a whole week of camp. And then she's involved in cheer. So her athletic is all year round. We just got through a weekend of cheer. That's getting up 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Days to 6 p.m. days for the last 3 days. She was happy to be off on Monday, and we're back at it again today, and will be for the rest of the week. So her practice hours from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. During the week, and she'll probably have like a couple weeks off, and then school will start, and she'll be back into the full school year. So I've been blessed with Sasha. Nobody wakes her up. We've never had to wake her up. She wakes herself up faithfully every day, 6 a.m. whether it's school or not, if it's the weekends. Weekends, we got her going to the gym with us now, so she gets up early in the morning. But I did realize I fell short, like you guys, with the academics, and I told her, I said, you need to get a book, read the book, and I need a book report. But I have not been enforcing it, so I failed. I failed, and I am worried because she's a science kid, right? And she's been in denial about it, but consistently every year, Seisha gets A. All trimester, she gets A in her science. And so she finally decided, okay, mommy, I'm going to major in biology in college. However, I told her, I said, you can't be getting anything less than a B plus if you're trying to major in biology in college. Biology in college is different from high school biology. So she knows she has 2 years to try and earn a full ride scholarship. I'm going to pay for college, but I want her to be able to help out with college as well. And so she has the bar set for her. Her sister right above her has a full ride scholarship right now, Alabama. So she knows, she monitors her GPA. It's at a 3.4, and she's like, mommy, that's not high enough. I know I need to work on getting it higher. She looked into her PSEO calendar for next year, what her classes. So she's on top of that. She's better than me, actually.
Okay, that's good. I guess
Yeah.
you have a disciplined child. Is like the most of us around here, and she probably need to be a mentor to her little sister, because I know someone.
She tries to. I hear her talking to them.
Yeah, it's like she probably need to be a mentor to someone that I know very well. Okay, but yeah, but Peter
She's
said,
very
Miss
smart.
B,
She's
Miss
very
B,
smart. That young lady that I know too.
Miss B jumped the gun here, right? Is that we'll come back from the academics, right? How do you, because like you also have to get a kids, well prepared, like well rounded. How do you get it into activities, right? Especially during the school year, into sports. I know maybe yours might be still young, but I think it's not only the academics where the sporting aspect also help them to be busy, actually, to be
Yes.
busy,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
it keeps them out of trouble. How do you
Yes.
make sure your kids get into activities at school?
Yeah, so for my son, since he's the only he's been the only school age one till now, every year the park district, they do like different activities. So between winter and spring they have basketball, and then for winter they will have like winter sports. So since he's in grade school, they don't have like
Yeah,
athletics
yeah.
besides like PE. So I would usually put him in something through the park district.
Yeah.
My daughter, she's a natural, I guess, entertainer because she calls herself a dancer and a singer, and
Okay.
she can come up with her own
Oh
choreography.
man, so
At 6 years
That's
old,
you
money
have
right there. You
you
better
have an
invest in that.
yeah,
entertainer on your
sometimes when
hands,
she's doing it, I'm watching the tablet to see if she's following like somebody, but she's
Mhm.
making up her own things and she's
Oh man,
doing
Wow.
that. So
okay.
yeah,
Encourage that.
I'll put
Encourage that.
You are grooming someone to take over Cycle Entertainment segment every Monday.
oh,
That's
definitely.
that's what you do. That's what you are doing right
Encourage
there.
her,
Okay.
please. We don't
Yes.
invest in our kids being in the art
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah,
yeah.
small.
yeah.
Yeah. And to your point, Miss B, my son, I noticed like he's more like artistic. So he's more into like the arts than, I mean, he's done basketball like every year, but I noticed like the zeal is not really there. He's like, oh, he wants to try another sport. And this summer, I put him in swim class. Up until this year, he was afraid of water. He couldn't, but it's 4 sessions. So each class is 4 sessions, and as he goes, after the 4 session, like okay, you can go to the next level. After the 4 session, okay, you can go to the next level. We did that for like almost 2 months, and now he's up to level 4. He can actually, yeah, just like that. For somebody that never went to swim class
Mm-hmm.
this
Yeah.
summer, so
Yeah.
it's something that I try to encourage and groom, like you said, to get them into different things. So I
Yeah.
help my daughter with gymnastics and things. So I try to keep them busy. And the little one, the 4-year-old, I call him a karate kid because I think that kid, I don't believe in reincarnation, but I think he's been here before. Like because some of
He's an
those
old
things,
soul. He's an old
yeah,
soul.
some of those things he does when he's doing his flips and things. I'm like, what you learning? So,
Okay.
For his Liberian parents, no.
Okay. Okay, folks. Folks, tonight the
Awesome,
topic is back to
awesome.
school, back to reality. School is already here. Back to school. School is already here. Some folks here in the Midwest, we still some folks still have a month. In the Midwest, some folks here in Minnesota, some folks are lucky it's gonna be after what Labor Day. But Peterson, kids are back in what in 2 weeks.
two and a half,
In
yeah,
yeah, I mean in Arizona, it's like maybe like what in less than a week.
4 days.
yeah, Monday.
Monday.
That's a week
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah, going back. So, folks, that's the topic tonight. Back to school, back to
Down south
reality.
is like that too. So Georgia goes back, I think, like the 21st. Yeah. They
No,
start
even
early.
even earlier than that. I think I'm at like Texas, or I think it's the 14 or like the
There you
14 or the
go.
15.
Yep.
It's like so earlier. I mean, a lot of folks right now, like people are already doing like school shopping. I mean, it's like back to school shopping active. I mean, a lot of places around the country is active. So, but
Yeah,
I
some
know,
schools
like,
already open because my nephew
oh, you see,
that live
wow,
in Indiana, they
uh-huh.
already
Wow.
started school, I think a week or 2 weeks ago.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
the school open
Who-
and
What
like
school district?
your
What school district is that? It's loud.
yeah,
They need to
when my
stop.
sister
They
told me,
need
I'm like,
money.
no, I'm like, I said, well, when
No.
does school open? She said, school already opened like a week ago. And this was a week ago that I spoke with her. And she said school had been a week earlier, but she was keeping my nephew home. She's like, the month is not over yet. I'm not sending him. But they keep sending,
Wow.
like, they keep calling every day, like, oh, he's starting, he's missing school, he's missing. She's like, I'm like, that is wild. Like, school
Yeah,
already,
it's July. I mean, who does that?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
which school? I mean, first you need to ask them for the name of the school district so we can put in words. Hey, man, we African parents, July is too early. We're still partying. Okay, please
Before
don't
our
tell.
July 26th weekend, that's a
Yes,
disrespect.
yes.
It's like, hey, it's too early. It's too early. But okay. So folks, yeah, you can still contribute to the conversation. 952-594-5154. But okay, we'll talk about extracurricular, the activities, the preparation, the academics. What's about friendship, right? These kids go back to school. Some of their friends might be moving on, some of their friends might be staying. How do you prepare them for a whole new school year when it comes to maybe their old friends or making new friends, or do they stay in? Do your kids stay in touch with their friends during the summer and stuff like that? My dad, the older one, they're all going to high school, right? But when they were all in, they're all going to high school now, but all in grade school. Like every summer, they will all keep in touch, chat. Sometime, they meet up at a park and things like that. Here and there. And my little one, I was like, she'd be communicating with her two close friends, throughout the summer, things like that. But how do your kids navigate it as they prepare to go back to school? Miss B, I will start with you on that.
I worry about her and her friendships a lot.
Okay. Why?
Yeah, because I feel like she has friends, but she doesn't feel like she has friends. I think and I'm just happy. I'm blessed because she has her two cousins. One of them is a year older than her, and one is a year below her. And I call them the Three Musketeers. They're
Mhm.
so very close. They're on the phone. I mean, Seisha and her cousin, from morning to night, they can be on the phone. I don't know how they manage to be on the phone like that, just from one conversation to the next. So I'm grateful that she has them. But during the school year, like, I don't know. She just struggles with having friends. I feel like it was easier for me to have friends in school than I'm experiencing with her. So therefore I worry about her. Like, she's on athletics teams. Like, okay, I picked her up from camp and they were gonna go do team bonding to somebody's house and stuff like that. I'm like, but Sasha, why aren't you gonna go? She's like, I've had enough of them, mommy. I just want to go.
you know, Peter, I'm going to throw that out there, right? I mean, it's hard to deal with Congo folks.
Yeah.
You know, okay. They just be to themselves.
Yeah,
I
so
tell,
blunt too.
I tell my daughter, I say, hey, I know she's a relative. She's not your friend. She's your sister. There's a difference between a sister and a friend. She's not your friend. Get friend. Said no, dad. I said no. You need to get friends. Okay. Yeah, she's your sister. She's not your friend. Get
You know
friends.
what I'm going through. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, "Oh, mommy, they don't have potential. They're not going nowhere in life."
Oh wow.
Oh,
They- they-
okay.
I'm like, oh. And then one day I got an email about this girl doing something good in the school. I said, but maybe since you're not friend with this girl because it seems like she's doing something and going somewhere in life, since you
Yeah.
just dismiss everybody in the whole school. I was like, then
Okay.
she's like,
Okay.
oh, so and so was crying. Okay, I told them sorry. But after some time now, what are they gonna just keep crying for? I'm like, oh, Father God, this is why you don't have friends.
Okay. Peterson, what's your experience? What's your
Yeah.
experience with them?
So for my son, he has friends that they've been from first grade. So we moved here when he was going to first grade. That's when we moved to the house, and we didn't even know that there were kids in the neighborhood until the first day of school. Because when we
Yeah.
moved in February, this was during COVID, so he did his like kindergarten thing. It was all online, and then when I registered him for first grade, we went to the bus stop and I see all these kids. I'm like, wait, there are kids in this neighborhood. And there's one particular kid that both of them just struck that friendship from first grade. And they were in first grade. They were not even in first grade together. They were in just on the bus. And then second grade, they were together. Third grade, they are not in the same class. Fourth grade, not in the same class, but now they're going to fifth grade. But they've always been together. And what we did as the parents, I kind of got close to his parents too, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so like in the neighborhood we have like a parental group chat
Yeah.
since all of the kids do not have phones because they are all 10, 11,
Yeah.
9 and stuff. So
Mm.
we have group chats and we constantly text each other. Oh, this person's looking to play. Is Peterson available to play? Like, oh, okay, well, everybody can come over to the house and play, or they can all go to the park. Or if I'm looking and I don't hear him or something, I would text one of the parents, is she over there? And say, yeah, they're in the backyard or they're in the pool or they're somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, with that, they all stay in touch. They constantly hang out over the summer months and even during the school year. So that friendship is there. And I think it was last year um, there was a possibility that we were going to relocate and move, and he like it's like I don't want to move. I'm like, dude, this is life. If it comes to it, we have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, well,
Yeah.
can you like bring me back to? I'm like,
Mm.
do you think I'm just moving? If I'm moving, it's not going to be next door. I'm like, so,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, so he has those friendships, and it's like I think there are four of them, the core group of four, but there's one, the first person that he actually became friends with is like his friend. And
Mm-hmm.
like Miss B that says, to say, oh, your relative is not your, is not your friend. But then we say like, well, these people are not really your friend. Your sister.
Oh
You
man.
mind? Tell him,
Man.
Always, because
Man.
he would rather, I guess, maybe because of the age gap, because there's 4 years between here, my daughter, and then the youngest one, there's like 6 years between the two of them. So he feels like they're little kids, and he's not. So he doesn't like to hang around. And all the time, we're like, you don't want to play with your little siblings. You always want to go outside to play. And so for that reason, when he's home, if his cousin is not here, his cousin is 4 years older, but not he feels that connection with him because they're
Yeah.
both like older. But when he's home by himself, if it's not the summer months, he's just in the basement, play his game, keep to himself. And the only time you will hear him, and he's so quiet that sometimes when we get visitors, they ask like, "Does he talk?" Like, yeah, he talks.
You want
But
to hear him talk? You want to hear him talking? You're gonna be
yeah,
afraid.
bring a friend over, and I
Yeah.
have to constantly because I the days that I work from my home office, I have to come. Boys, keep it down because they're just yelling. And I'm like, he's a completely different person when he's with his friends than
Yeah.
when he's not with them. So yeah, but
Yeah.
they keep in touch throughout the year.
So the
Love
transition
that.
to school, then I mean the transition to school is easier for them because you're already
Yes.
keeping in touch.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
They're all in
yeah.
the
I mean,
same
yeah. I mean, which is good. Well, folks, I would tell all parents out there, right? Let your kids have friends. They are family, they're not a friend. Have friends, especially when you go to school. Have friends. Okay, have friends. And guess the thing, right? My little one and my older one is like night and day.
Yeah.
My little one is like she will intentionally seek out friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like even this,
Mm-hmm.
like she will have sleepovers. I can sometimes discourage her from that. She'll have sleepovers, yeah, she will go and make her own arrangement, right? She and her friend will make their own arrangement, and then the two parents, and then they'll let us know, oh, okay, want to have a sleepover, and then the dad and mom will call me, oh, Abby said she want to have a sleepover. I say okay, so I'll ask like why you decide to make an arrangement without at least telling me first. Now the other one is the opposite. The only person she used to it is her family. I tell her that's not your friend. She's your sister. Come on, cut it out. But you know what I mean. At times, right? It's like what I mean, she have one or two friends at school. Some days, she will be right. I mean, she'll be into them and stuff like that. Other times, it is just her sister. That's the only one she cares about. So there are moments when that Congo thing entering her, you'll not get her to have any friend. And that Congo thing move in her, she will say, "Oh, Brio," or the other friend, I say, "Oh, okay." So sometimes I'll just pick a brain. I say, "How are you and Brio?" And nah, I think it's fine. Other day, other days, oh yeah, we cool. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and stuff like that. So I think especially in school, because that's where it's like you are there to make academically, you are there to what you are there for academic, but just for memories, right? And things like that. So it's good for us as parents to encourage our kids to have friends and things like
Yeah.
that. So, I hopefully Sisha is a junior or senior. She will let's say, but she will get to maybe have a bestie. A bestie, Bianca used to have a bestie, right? But her bestie changed school, so she had to like,
Mm.
kind of get used to another one. But yeah, but what would be a message, right, to parents? Because these are things sometimes you're afraid, right? You want to know who are the friends, right? We're talking about you want to
Oh
know
yeah.
sometimes because certain kids, man, they be into so many things, right? It's like and you don't want your kids around around certain environment. As parents, how do you guys navigate that? I mean, for you, Janice might be easy. I mean, it's going to be easier for you because Sasha doesn't have that problem.
She no, she doesn't have that problem. I think it's like she says she feels like okay, I would interact with them at school. That's fine. And then
Mhm,
like if there's outside school activities because she likes to go to the school games
mhm,
and she'll have friends that I know if there are friends that do that. And last day of school, everybody took over Valley Fair. That's like the last day of school thing. And she
mhm.
did go to Valley Fair with friends that can actually drive. So that was very scary for me.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yes,
okay.
she has a friend that has a driver's license and can drive already, and that friend is already 16. And
Mhm,
so that was scary for me, right?
mhm.
So she has her times, but 99% of the time it is her cousins who she wants to hang out with. She doesn't do sleepovers. She's never done sleepovers to any of the friends. She's never had
Mm,
any of the friends sleep over here.
okay.
She only has two homes that she goes to. Mom and her uncle, that's it.
Okay.
Outside of
Okay.
that, yeah, so I am encouraging her that I'm like, oh, Stacia, maybe we should plan an activity for the cheer team to come over. So I'm
Mhm.
encouraging her to have more friends, right? I want her because life is about who you know. That's the
Yeah.
reality, right? In
Yeah.
networking, academics is good, but I know some of the most educated people who have the worst jobs and they're underemployed
Mm,
and they're underpaid because they struggle with those interpersonal skills, right? They
yeah.
don't have
Yeah.
those relationships. They never invested in forming those type of relationships
Mhm.
all through their academic career. And
Yeah.
so now their doors are not opening for them, professionally. And so I tell her that you have to balance, between being smart and being conscious of who you know, so that those relationships do open up doors for you.
And that's a great point. That's a soft skill I think we need to teach our kids. That's a great point you just brought up. Those soft skills, right? Because even some of your friends might not be the ones that, they might not be like you, but you will learn something from them. You'll build those networks. And some of them might go, onto bigger things. You never know, right? Is that they might go into bigger things. They might start running companies around here, or their dad might have connections that, hey, and so the networking piece that you just brought is very, very important. Peterson, how do you navigate that?
Yeah. So for mine. I used to think uh, my, especially for my son, the oldest one, I used to worry like, wow, will he like make friends because he's so quiet and so shy?
The
But then,
quiet ones are deep, Peterson. They are,
but then to my to my surprise, his fourth grade class, when like the last day of school was like a park day for them, so
yeah,
they allow all of them to go to the park. You can play games, whatever thing you want to do at the park. So he kept asking me like, "Oh, can you guys come to the park? Can you come to the park?" And I went to the park, and everybody said, "Oh, are you Peterson's dad? Are you Peterson's dad?" I'm like, "How do you have like? How do you know all these people? Are they all in your class?" And someone like, "No, they're not in the same class." But
mhm.
apparently, he makes like he's good
It
at
makes
making
sense.
friendships.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but my daughter, she's a social butterfly. She's one of those people that will seek out like friendship. She will like go after it, and she's so inquisitive. She will ask like the most random questions of people, and sometimes I'm embarrassed. I'm like, "Oh, I hope you don't like ask something crazy of somebody." But yeah, when it comes to like my son going to other people's houses and things, since we're all in the same neighborhood, just few
yeah,
houses apart,
yeah.
and I have all the parents, their contacts and things like that, they can go. But there's one particular house that I told him like, you
Nope.
can he can come over here and play.
Yeah,
You are not allowed to go into the house. But just because of the way that I heard this kid speak, and he's the youngest in the group. And one day they were here, like I'm working and they're playing, and I don't know, something hit him. And the words that came out of that little dude's mouth, I'm like, what? Who said that? And it was my son who actually kicked him out. And at the time
yeah.
he was like 9 years old. He's like, you gotta go. So he told me, I'm like, have you ever been to their house? He's like, no. I said, well, if that's how they speak at their home, I don't
You're
want
not
you
going
to
there.
ever go over there. He can come here. And it took him like a month before he can allow him to come back into the house. He's like, yeah, I kicked
Okay,
him out. I told him he got to leave because he can't talk like that.
Nice.
So I told
Love
okay,
him,
that. Love that training
yeah.
you have
Oh
given
yeah,
him, Peterson.
yeah.
okay,
I told
okay,
him, yeah. So
okay.
that's how that began. And it's like you said, we have to be, even if we're not friends with the parents, we have to at least know them
Yeah,
so that we can know the type of environment
yep.
that our kids are being exposed to.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
folks, this is a 1 hour show, and we've been having
Oh
fun here
wow.
for the last, 1 hour 11 minutes. That's what happened when you're having
Oh,
fun.
it's
Back to
over
school,
already.
back to reality. Who knew that back to school, back to reality would be fun? When it should be, when it's going to be stressful. Sooner or later here for the students, for the kids, mental health, all of those things. But it's that time of the year. But as we wrap up, right? Miss B, what's the message you want to leave with the kids tonight that are preparing for school, with the parents, mentally, physically? How should they prepare for this academic year, 2025, 2026?
So, parents, find a good, I don't even like to say balance because balance is like having the scale be equal, but just find a good way to integrate, the academics and life and social for your kids, right? And support every facet of whatever talent they have. Not everybody's going to be good at reading, math, and science, right?
Mhm.
If you see that artistic side, encourage it, support it. If they want to go to do theater lessons, let them do theater lessons, right? Dance lessons, let invest in those. Hey, those things are what's making money out here right now, Beyonce and all those people, right? And so I just want to tell parents to encourage their kids and whatever talents that they may have and be supportive of not just the academics, but their social aspect as well.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, I mean that's a good point right there. Parents, don't just focus. I know we African parents, sometimes, hey, get me good grades. Well, good grades is good, but let them get in extracurricular activities. Let them explore what they want to explore. But then at the same time, to make sure they're not bringing a bunch of D's and C's and keep it balanced. However way you
Yes.
can. Yeah.
Yep.
Peterson, as we're about to kick off this academic year 2025, 2026, it's a different world, Gen Z world. Is like, what's the message you want to leave with the kids preparing to go back to school, and the parents, right? How should they prepare to go back? What's the message you want to leave with parents tonight, and also the kids?
Yeah, it's been a great conversation, guys. Thanks, Miss B, and everybody who contributed. Uh, my message would be to parents, especially if you have the school list for all the supplies list for your students. You don't have to like go to like Target, or you have to be intentional about it, because
Yeah.
sometimes it depends on the timing. If you, like me in previous years, you wait until the weekend before supplies is dropped off, you're not going to find anything in those aisles. So go ahead, and even if the school opening, the calendar, if it's still a month away, go ahead and get that list, and try to be more economical. Try to see,
Yeah.
okay, what can I get uh, more cheap,
Yeah.
not more affordable. I mean,
Mhm.
there are things that you will have to buy, like quality, but when it comes to things like notebooks and pencils and those type of supplies and rulers and things, you can go to the dollar store. I know now it's not dollar, it's $1.25. It's $1.25 tree, but it's
God,
still
I know,
better than
right?
$3, $4, because those add up by the time you put all of them together. And for students, just, I mean, the summer is, I know the summer was short. It's always short, even for us. But try to transition and get your mind ready for the new school year. And I hope that everybody will have a successful academic year, and everybody will succeed in whatever subject matter it is. If it's people that are into athletics, be safe out there and just have fun. Don't just go at it to be so serious. Yes, you can
Yeah.
be serious about your academics, but at the same time, build up that network, that social skill, get
Mhm.
friendships, and friendships that will matter, not just because you want to have a friend.
Yeah. I mean, good one, good one. Yeah, folks, I will echo both Peterson and Miss B, right? Number one, do not stress over that. Don't stress over that school list, that school supply list. Sometimes it's good to start early, and then you can do it once, one weekend you go and do it, another weekend maybe you go and do it, little by little, right? Don't stress over it, take care of your mental health. I know summer is over. The one aspect we didn't talk about yet, if you still have summer vacation to take, how you gonna, navigate that? Because all of those things, sometimes you're trying to fit things, the kids might be complaining,
Mm-hmm.
oh, we didn't do any vacation this year, and then now back to school, so all of those things. But here, man, it's like, as Peterson said, it's here, it's back to school, it's back to reality. But if you couldn't do it this year, hopefully next year you take them somewhere. So, but that's the end of our show tonight. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. It was a great show. When you're having fun, who knew that back to school, back to reality would be a fun segment, but what it turned out to be, right? It was a fun segment. We'll be back here tomorrow discussing business, right? KPIs. Tomorrow is KPIs. This says the business people say we should discuss KPI. If you have a business, I hope you know what KPI is, because maybe we are, and then Thursday we're gonna have a good guest here, immigrant running for a local office, district 34B. Is going to be of us on Thursday. So it's a great week, right, to be part of the Inner Circle Park. Yeah. So thank you so much, folks, and you all have a good night.
Good night, everyone.